In this video, DARC Mag No2 second edition, I'm going to be going through and telling you what's inside this magazine. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Troy. This is RoadsideRC. You'll then find me bashing or crawling or drifting or racing, plus doing product review videos and how-tos. Let's get started looking in this magazine. Similar to last, index up at the front, a couple of the advertisements, and then we get to the chassis builder showcase. So really cool, multiple folks in here, a bunch of different chassis in here actually. From some folks, if you follow some of the championships and all that, some of the folks that maybe you've heard their names of. A lot of the detail, the history of the individuals, the setup of their chassis, that kind of thing. One of the things that I think is really kind of interesting in here is it asks everybody to talk about what is their chassis setup. There's a couple folks in here who are literally like, this is the number. I run 10 degrees of camber and I run 1 to 3 degrees of tow and I run I run these things. And then there's other folks that go like, I kind of eyeball it and it seems like it works great. Then we go over here to a Mark Santamaria article. Talks about what is his engagement with RC drifting. Honestly speaking, I don't normally really follow a lot of the videos on his channel. Seems like a lot of what he does is a little bit more on the racing side. That's where his roots have come from. I've seen him do some crawling stuff. I've seen him do a whole bunch of, new product review videos. But it was interesting to hear that he actually has dabbled in the RC drift stuff. Says that he finds it actually to be the most difficult part of RC, the difficult niche of RC that he's ever done, especially coming from his racing background. Then he really likes the chill vibe that he sees at most RC drift tracks. Really cool. But he goes into, of course, a lot more detail than what I'm going to give you here. The team gets into a Kyosho Phaser D2 review. Honestly, just as kind of I experienced myself, really struggled with the car directly out of the box. They quickly threw a full, obviously tires and wheels in order to match their local track, but then also threw a whole host of new electronics on it, which is the weak point in this car, is the electronics. There's no doubt at all. They go through their detail and you can really see a little bit their progression as the story goes about the struggles they had and how they made it better. I think overall they're actually very kind in their review. Their conclusion is that it's a very capable chassis that will run with many others out there. As I have said in my personal opinions and experience with the car, I am very glad to see Kyosho in it, taking a different approach than everybody else is doing. And if you are in the scale side of drifting and that's what you're really about, this is the car that might be for you. And then I'm going to be honest, I didn't see this one coming. So there is a musician. Her name is Victoria Silk. Makes videos, posts them up on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You can find her there. So it turns out she worked with this crew to use RC drift cars and the track and all this other kind of stuff in a music video called Display that she put out on YouTube. Never heard her, never seen it before, but hey, it worked. I went out, I had to go out and watch it. I'll let you go out and watch it and make your own judgment. But I mean, it's really pretty cool. I would love to see if, we could work some RC drift cars, track, action into some other kind of mainstream videos. I think just the fact that an artist like this is curious and decided to use it in a video speaks to just how RC drifting is continuing to get bigger, and that is really pretty fun. Going past a couple more pieces here, Scale Artist Showcase. So again, something I'm not good enough again, but here's the cover car from Matt. Congratulations on getting the cover of the magazine. Super cool. Car looks great. You have multiple of them in here. Obviously you're doing really good work. Lots of scale details in the garage behind. Multiple people in here. Love the Lamborghini body, Steven. Really fun stuff. Look at it. All the scale quality that I'm not good enough to do. Look at all. Super G Steve coming through again. This time in the second article, diving deeper into qualifying. Concepts that he lays out in here about qualifying, you know, are Super G Drift SDC competition specific, but honestly, you know, they set the standard for so many people in the country that, you know, if you go through here and you understand what they're talking about when it comes to comp scoring, and if you can judge yourself honestly based on this, you're probably going to do good in whatever comp situation you're in. So really big thanks to Steve for continuing to share his knowledge. I mean, honestly, the stuff that you can read in here, super valuable. And again, shout out to Adam Ma from the RC Drift Talk podcast, featuring. So he's doing an interview featuring Junior Barba here this week. Very cool guy who's been around in the RC Drift world for a while. Has done a lot of drift competitions. He's multiple wins, done global events. I don't know. Are we allowed to just be jealous, I guess, of all the things that the guy's done? So really cool to read his story there. And this was interesting by David Donaldson, you know, as he kind of dug into how he sets up a car for weight shift, with some really fun pictures in here to talk about. I mean, I'm going to say extreme weight shift, not just little weight shift, but like extreme weight shift and what that looks like, you know, when you're actually driving it around. So if you've considered ever trying to do a weight shift load transfer kind of setup, this article right here, super valuable for you. And then that is it. So huge shout out to A-Main Hobbies for a big sponsorship there. Lots of different companies throughout the whole magazine helping to make this thing a reality is really, really cool to see. Really fun to see all the different, you know, RC cut and paste here. All the folks that are willing to throw in a little bit of money to help make the DARC mag a reality. Again, Steven and all the folks, I know it's a crew that helps to make this thing happen. It's really cool to be able to get this in the mailbox, or if you're lucky enough, at your local hobby store. So again, if you want a copy of it, DARCmag.com, you can go get it, and then there's a list of locations in here where you can actually go and pick up a physical copy as well. But you can read it online for free, DARCmag.com. So anyway, it's fresh, it's out there. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out.